There's a group of South Africans that would love to see a South Africa that looks beyond race. A South Africa that looks at the next person for who they are and not what color they are. A united, peaceful, and prosperous rainbow nation where all of us, black, white, Indian, and colored, contribute to and experience the best of South Africa. It's so sad and disappointing to see that there are some people who just make achieving this goal harder, more difficult than it needs to be. I'm sure you've seen that trending video of Sonwabile, a young man who was called the K word by Erhard Vorster during a live stream.
You EFF cop.
EFF cop? Well, okay, that's not nice.
Please subscribe, share, and repost #SmartVoters, #CitizenConcerned, and always beware of the comrades. Firstly, big ups to Sonwabile for the maturity with which he handled the situation. Instead of retaliating, allowing his emotions to get the best of him, like many people would have in this situation, he maintained his composure and calmly stopped the live. Well done, sir. Secondly, using the K word is regarded as hate speech, and one can be arrested for it. In April of 2018, it was proposed that hate speech cases be removed from civil courts to criminal courts. Previously, racist South Africans could just get off with merely a fine for hate speech, but in 2018, the legislation proposed jail time for this offense, starting at 3 years for first-time offenders and all the way up to 10 years for repeat offenders. We saw Vicky Mombek sentenced to 3 years imprisonment for using the K word in her conversation with some police officers. So it's clear that hate speech is a crime and those who commit it must face the consequences. With that understanding, let's ask ourselves this question. If a black man commits a crime of rape, do we say that all black people are rapists? No. If a white man commits a crime of murder, do we say that all white people are murderers? No. Where am I getting at with this? Simply because the racist crime of hate speech was committed by this young white man, do we say that all white people are racist? That all white people engage in hate speech? That all white people spew racist slurs? No, no, no. In situations like these, white people's comments need to be sensitive. It is essential to practice candor with care, which simply means that as you express yourself and share your honest views on the matter, do so in a manner that shows concern for the next person, because that is key to establishing and maintaining healthy relationships. It is essential to our goal of creating a united rainbow nation. I scrolled and scrolled and scrolled down more than 690 comments, and most of the white people in the comment section failed to be sensitive to what had taken place. They failed to admit that it was wrong for the young white man to call the young black man the K word. Instead, there were comments justifying the act. Comments like, I am called Mlungu, I am called a Nazi. Comments like, but black people sing kill the Boer. Comments like, white people also suffer racism. And I am not saying that these statements are false. I am not saying that you as white people do not experience racism. I am simply saying that there is a time and place for everything. This was a time and place to condemn the act of calling Sonwabile, or anyone for that matter, the K word, not to engage in whataboutism. Moments like these are a test for all of us to see how much we have matured and how wise we have become. Learn to read the room, know when, where, and how to discuss your grievances, because bringing them up in a setting like this is you pouring fuel to fire and making it worse instead of killing the flames. As a white person, whenever a black person becomes a victim of racism, you need to rise up and support your black brother. Don't be stupid to the point of justifying a white racist. The fact that a couple of black people have mistreated you or that a political party has offended you does not mean that all black people are like that. You become a fool when you do that. Instead, be like the white people that I like. The white people that stand up and call out racist fools. Remember to teach your children well, inform them, educate them, guard them to make sure that they do not become racist. Guard them so that they do not hang out with racists. When people are racist, isolate them, call them out, shame them just as much as I on this channel call out black people that are racist to white people. From these comments, however, people have also seen that there are kind, loving, non-racist white people among us, thus igniting that hope for a united rainbow nation. A big shout out to people like these, people like Anushka van der Merwe, who stood up and said what was right and necessary. Anushka even received some backlash from a white man, but she stood her ground on truth. Well done, ma'am. Which brings me to my fourth and final point. I know that there are white people who believe that racism is wrong, who believe that it was wrong for Sonwabile to be called the K word. But beyond believing this truth, you have a duty to call out such nonsense behavior. Separate yourself from racist white people. Let it be clear that indeed not all white people are racist. The EFF went out to protest in front of this young man's school, and some white people passed comments to express their support for the EFF in this. They passed comments in support of Sonwabile. A big shout out to you if you were one of those. I know that many of you are not racist, but it's not enough for you and I to know that white people who are not racist exist. What is needed is for you to be seen stepping up in these situations. At times like these, you're presented with an opportunity to stand up against your own race or to keep quiet as if nothing happened, to defend a black victim and support him, or to look away. These are the options you will always face. It's a fork on the road. Choose the righteous path. In this case, you'll find that this young man might have racist parents, grandparents, friends, and relatives. This may be how they talk about black people when they sit for dinner. If this happens in your household, stand up to it. This is an evil idea, and shame on anyone, any parent or any relative that encourages their children to behave like this. We can and should fight racism when we encounter it. Will we ever eradicate it? Never. Racism has existed for thousands of years. Skin color, religion, nationality, or tribe, all these issues have caused tensions for centuries upon centuries in several countries across the world. We may not eradicate racism, but we must always call it out whenever it rears its ugly head. Just as all of us, black and white, can be racist, all of us, black and white, can love and respect one another. Remember, things like this have a ripple effect. If one white person is racist against a black person and no white person stands up to defend that black person, you have failed to defend your freedom as well. Whenever you keep quiet when someone is being oppressed or abused, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Tomorrow, that black person could be a political leader, so don't be surprised if he is hostile towards your race. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, share, and repost this video using #SmartVoters, #CitizenConcerned. Always, always beware of the comrades.